All right, everybody, welcome. I'm just going to give it 1 or 2 more minutes here for everybody to kind of funnel in. Let me share this and we'll get all set up and ready to go. People are still joining here. All right. And then as I wait for some more people to kind of funnel in here, I think we have 47 people coming to this today. I would like to just kind of say, if you guys have any ideas or things that you wish to see in future webinars, topics, how-tos, things you're not sure of, there's going to be both the chat that's going to be open here as well as the Q&A. I'm going to open that as well. So I'll keep an eye on this Q&A. I'll keep an eye on this chat as much as I can throughout this kind of presentation here. And if you guys do have any additional kind of I wish I knew a little bit more about this, or, I kind of want to use this in my day-to-day work, but I'm not sure how to use it, go ahead and put those ideas in there because I really do this research and make these presentations based off, what you guys want. What's going to help this construction community the most? Um, I have my startup, contractsconnected.com, and we're really heavily focused on AI in the back office of a general contractors company. And this is just kind of supplementary. So any ideas, again, that you guys come up with or have, feel free to email me, zach.kerber@contractsconnected.com. You can message in here or you can join our AI community called the AI Blueprint. So I think that's enough time for, some people to funnel in here. It looks like there's still some people joining, but I'm just going to kind of start diving in here. So today I really kind of wanted to touch on some deeper tools that, the average user of ChatGPT probably is not leveraging, or any AI for that matter, doesn't matter what you're using. But these tools are starting to kind of dip their hands in, our emails and our Google Drives and our SharePoints and in different research areas across the web. They're able to kind of like book travel now. They're starting to dip our hands into places and kind of starting to become more agentic as a result. And just to recap, I did a whole meeting on AI agents versus, just generative AI. Just to recap, generative AI is generating something. It's replying to you with something you've requested for it to generate, meaning an image, text, so on. And then the agent side is more go do this action autonomously, make that decision on your own, and execute it for me. The AI generative side is very consumerized. It's all these chats that we're used to. The AI agent side is becoming more and more consumer friendly every single day. And the goal of companies like OpenAI, Microsoft with Gemini, or even Gronk, um, and especially Meta, they're really focused on making agentic AI just as easy to use as generative, and everybody having it go, find the email, read the email, reply to the emails, and send the emails rather than just giving you the stuff to copy and paste. So, with that being said, this is going to jump into some of these deeper tools. I try my best, as usual, to keep this pretty beginner friendly. And it is going to get, a little in the weeds, but I'm going to try to keep it real top level. So you guys will walk away from this meeting today with quite a bit of knowledge and being able to kind of execute off that. So here we go. I'm just looking at Christine's Q&A here. Thanks, Christine. I'm excited to have you, first off. If you would use AI to gain a larger share of work that is currently floating around with no home. Yeah, so I can get into that too. That's more of an agentic thing, right? So there's some contractors out there that are using AI to scan the web every morning and scrape the web every morning to find work. and bring it into their company. And I can get into how they're doing that here in a bit. So let's get on with it. Here I want to go. Oops, I think I started the presentation all the way at the end as I was reviewing it this morning. Here we go. So, artificial intelligence is, revolutionizing the workflows in the construction industry already. And I am focused with contractsconnected.com on the back office, but anything that I take here and show you guys today, just apply it to your area of, whatever position you're in, whether you're a project manager here, an estimator here, or, an executive or a contract administrator. Tools like ChatGPT are enhancing the efficiency by managing daily tasks such as compliance tracking. And this, again, is going to get into that more agentic stuff, which I'm excited to show you guys about. Document analysis, which is happening for the first time ever, whether you're looking for information in a document, this Command F trying to find stuff once you finally find that attachment. We can kind of streamline that a little bit better, and I'll show you that as well. And then project correspondence and innovations like MCP or Model Context Protocol, connectors, and agent mode, which are the three main things I'm going to show you guys in a live demo on how to use these things and how they're going to connect to your SharePoints and your Google Drives and your Gmail and your Outlooks. Empower these AI systems to integrate with real-time data, external applications, and that's how you're going to get that extra leg up on productivity with AI. So, this is going to be touching on some, real-time data for effective AI usage in construction. And one thing that I mentioned on previous webinars is, construction, you guys have industry knowledge and you have, project-specific knowledge. What happened on this project previously, what's happening here. And sometimes AI can't bridge that gap for you because AI is only trained on the data that it has from the World Wide Web, right? That's all it knows. So it doesn't know, that you've had 17 change orders on a specific scope of work, or anything like that. So having it be able to access this real-time data is going to skyrocket you guys in terms of saying, this isn't just giving me generic BS answers. This is giving me answers that are very specific to my project and what I'm working on today. So just continuing on here, why we need this real-time data and why this MCP and these connectors I'm going to show you are so important. ChatGPT and other AIs providing significant efficiency in managing daily tasks such as compliance tracking, document analysis. However, they lack specific project data unless integrated with these real-time information systems, which is kind of the key theme of today is get this to work with your data, your projects securely. The many critical construction operations depend on these latest internal datas, such as compliance logs and project updates. Without this real-time access, AI may provide an outdated or irrelevant information. And then, you're copy and pasting and editing it when you could have just wrote it yourself for the first time. Real-time data integration is going to be essential for AI to answer specific project-related questions accurately. Access to project files and databases ensure that AI can provide relevant and timely insights. So, of the first one of these, I'm going to talk about a couple ways to give an AI chat your data. The first one that I'll talk about is called MCP, also known as Model Context Protocol. And you can also think of this as, if you've ever connected any type of integration on any type of software, you've connected your Gmail or you've connected, Procore to Sage or you've connected something to something. This is starting to be similar, where this is an integration. MCP is just another word for integration, is the easy way to think of it, but you're going to start seeing MCP more and more and more. And if you follow any AI influencers on LinkedIn or anything like that, you're going to probably already see the word MCP. So this is an open standard developed by Anthropic in late 2024. It's designed to create a universal interface for AI systems. It enables AI access and to interact with external data sources, tools, and services, which allows for enhanced functionality. And then it's basically going to be able to, distribute any information that you have across your different AI platforms. And this is rapidly becoming an industry standard. MCP facilitates seamless integration, allowing AI agents to read files, execute functions, and provide informed responses based on real-time data. So one challenge that, the technology industry faced here was when you're integrating Procore to Sage, it's a very unique thing that gets coded in between those. Like there's nothing else that's going to follow that standard of code. When you integrate, Procore to whatever else, it's a different code system. It's a different standard. It's different instructions for the computer to follow. What they're trying to accomplish with MCP is basically allowing Gmail to create one MCP kind of like trigger point, one MCP access, one MCP like front door to your Google account, for instance. But any AI platform just has to build, once. So now Gmail only has to build one connector to AI rather than Gmail having to build one with ChatGPT, one with Anthropic, one with Gronk, one with Gemini. So this is kind of becoming that industry standard, and you're just going to hear that the term MCP, MCP, MCP over and over and over again. Procore will probably end up releasing an MCP, Sage, probably the same thing. All of these things are probably going to open up to the larger AI community, just like they're connected to the World Wide Web. So in terms of the complexity of these two things, I'm going to try to breeze through this part and just get to the juicy part because I don't want to lose you guys in too much of these details, but you being able to walk away from this webinar today and be able to talk about it like an expert in your office or to your coworkers, or at least have the deeper details spark creativity on how you might be able to optimize this stuff in your life, could be useful. So the complexity of custom integrations. Before the introduction of, MCP integrating with AI models with specific applications, it required custom-built solutions for each software interface, kind of what I was just talking about. This complexity made it challenging, resource-intensive to connect various AI models to different data sources, and often leading to inefficiencies in technology adoption and usage. So the power of the standard one, again, is going to be MCP revolutionizes this process by establishing a common standard for all compatible AI models, allowing them to seamlessly connect with any MCP-enabled data source. This universal compatibility promotes interoperability and significantly reduces the time and effort needed for integration, akin to how web standards such as HTTP and HTML allow any web browser to access any website without the need for a special configuration. So, continuing on here. I don't know why I lost my place there with this. Okay, so MCP is one. And now we're going to talk about connectors. So connectors are, ChatGPT was the first to release a connector, and a connector is one of the main things I'm going to show you guys today. So connectors leverage the model context protocol to enable seamless integration between ChatGPT and various data. AI and specifics. This is going to allow you to automation about email. Once this connector will allow ChatGPT to perform tasks such as documents, retrieving information from data, summarizing and creating reports, all within chat interface without switching contexts. Data and information. So allowing connectors, ChatGPT can access various applications, Google Dropbox, project management tools, enabling users to ask specific questions and receive contextuality relevant answers based on the latest project data. So I'm going to give you guys a demo of how to connect. Super user friendly. You do not be technical with this. You kind of like have any code. It's as simple, if you guys have ever logged in by picking your email account rather than putting in a username, just as easy. But the thing that and the number just a little sidebar. They've basically said that they've figured out why it hallucinates, why it makes stuff up, and it's because the benchmarks that they test AI against to see how good AI is actually rewarding answers over, even if they're incorrect, over admitting uncertainty. So they're going to be changing the benchmarks in which all of these AI models are, tested against to reward uncertainty over a made up answer. Just thought that that was an interesting thing. I was reading that in a newsletter this morning. So in the construction industry, AI can streamline tasks through two distinct models. You have chat connectors for quick, straightforward queries, and then you have deep research connectors for in-depth analysis. The chat connectors are more ideal for rapid single searches. I need an immediate answer to a specific question. Deep research mode allows AI to perform a comprehensive research, analyzing multiple sources and, putting together all of this information for you in a detailed, well-formed response, making it invaluable for, different projects, documents, and you can have it come in and do a deep research of all the documents in a Google Drive, or you can have it just do deep research across the internet. So if you guys are facing a challenge or you're unsure about, how a certain form needs to be filled out, or if you're uncertain about what forms you need to collect because it's a new type of project you guys are working on, that can all be done with deep research across the web, as well as connecting into your data sets for more deep research as well. So basically, what it's going to do when you ask it a deep research question is it breaks down the complex request. So it allows the AI to perform extensive analysis by dividing tasks into manageable subtasks. So this enables the AI to search multiple data sources simultaneously. It's basically spinning up a bunch of different kind of like little AI brains every time you ask it a deep research question, and it's simultaneously scouring across either the web or your data sources that you've connected through your connectors. In deep research mode, the AI cross-references information from various sources, allowing for more accurate and reliable outputs. This compatibility helps in constructing well-informed responses based on the latest data available. So again, hallucination being a big deal. If you guys are in this deep research mode, it is going to take a little bit longer and it is going to, um, basically take more computing power. But at the end of the day, it's going to cite all of its sources, and you can almost be certain that, it's not hallucinating, it's not making anything up, rather than like just blasting through ChatGPT with it not connected to any of your data. You have some risk there. So citing sources for trust, just like I mentioned, the feature to cite sources for facts and excerpts enhances the transparency and accountability in AI generated outputs. It allows the users to verify the information and builds trust in the AI's responses. So you guys are working on, real projects in the real world. If you're relying on AI more and more every single day, the hallucination becomes a big deal, in my opinion, because one wrong sentence in a contract, one wrong term, one wrong fact can be very, very expensive for any company. So this deep research mode that I don't think very much of the construction industry so far is leveraging can be a huge lever for you guys to pull on, to make sure that you can rely on AI to do this stuff. So here's like a kind of like a pro and con here, but dynamic multi-step task execution. So agent mode empowers AI to take initiative and perform complex tasks autonomously. It can simulate human actions such as clicking buttons, filling out forms, executing code, and allowing for seamless interactions with various platforms. This feature is particularly advantageous for handling time-consuming processes, as the AI can manage multiple steps without requiring constant user input. So this is again, and we got into like workflows in a previous webinar, and I can go into this again, where you're actually programming something to happen every single morning, kind of how Christine asked earlier in the webinar about, how do you find information or how do you find work that's looking for a home. You can program it to be automatic. This is still you putting in a request, like I'm going to show you in your demo, and then it spitting out an answer as a result. So it's not necessarily a workflow because it's not happening on its own. And then traditional query-based response interaction. In contrast, traditional AI tools typically respond to only direct queries without the ability to execute tasks or manage workflows independently. Users must manually intervene at every step, which leads to inefficiencies and slower completion times. This limitation restricts the AI's potential to enhance productivity across various functions. So basically, like I'm just going to give you a quick use case here, and then we should be able to go ahead and switch over to, me showing you the deep research mode, the connector mode, and the AI agent mode. So one thing that we're really passionate about contractsconnected.com is, all of the drudgery of, filling in documents, copy and pasting over and over and over again into the same templates, the same standard forms, all of that kind of stuff is, kind of grunt work, if we're being honest. Updating Excel trackers, downloading email attachments, uploading email attachments into subfolders, and doing all of that stuff. Uploading here for DocuSign, downloading from DocuSign, all that kind of stuff is kind of just, a waste of time, to be honest. It's not value in terms of like revenue generating activities for the company when AI is clearly there to be able to do that stuff, and then analyze it too, and be able to tell you if this certificate of insurance should be approved, or this weekly certified payroll matches the daily logs in the Davis-Bacon wage decision. Anyway, not to get too off topic, but this is one use case, and I encourage you guys to just let this spark ideas in your day-to-day work, whatever you're repetitive doing, whether it's downloading attachments, emailing reminders, whatever it is. Think about where in your life AI can actually know that something's missing, know that something needs to get done because it has the data and is able to execute that for you. So this can actually automatically check compliance requirements against submitted documents, ensuring all necessary paperwork is in its place. This automation saves time for project managers, reduces the risk of missing critical or crucial compliance documents. Streamlined contract analysis, I demoed in a previous webinar. And again, if you guys have any webinar ideas, throw them in the chat, throw them in the Q&A. I love to just do webinars based on what you guys actually want to see as far as AI in the construction industry. But I did demo a AI construction contract analyzer tool that had AI red lines already in it when you upload your contract. But construction professionals can ask complex questions about contracts, receive precise answers, enhancing understanding without the need for manual review or lengthy documents. This speeds up decision-making processes. And you can have AI. You don't need a fancy software to do this stuff. These AI flows that we can build out here together that are very user-friendly. You can tell it what to look out for. You can tell it, hey, I look for this term, and this term every time I analyze a contract. And if it's not there, I'm going to redline it. It can do that for you, so you don't have to spend the time to look for those terms in the first place. Meeting notes and summarization. If you guys aren't using a meeting note tool yet, you should be. There's almost no reason not to unless your company is strongly against it. There's ethics around, hey, can I record this? You can ask people before turning it on, but this AI meeting summarizer tool has saved me countless and countless hours of, questions or follow up or searching through emails. So in terms of best practices, before I show you guys the demo here for integrating this stuff into your company, meaning, hey, if you're going to connect your stuff, if you're going to connect an MCP to your Google Drive, to your SharePoint, to your Outlook, to your Gmail, make sure you're doing it securely. There's a lot of sensitive information in your guys' emails, and you want to make sure that you're doing it with trusted, secure sources. So in terms of maximizing the effectiveness of AI tools in construction, it's crucial to implement strategies that foster reliability reliability, and efficiency. Begin by using AI for low risks tasks to build your confidence first while keeping a human involved. Oversee outputs. Clear and specific prompts to enhance AI performance, ensuring accurate responses. Prioritizing data privacy safeguards, like I just mentioned, sensitive information and minimize risks. Finally, avoid over-reliance by cross-verifying critical outputs with human judgment and continuously monitoring AI performance to adopt evolving needs. So again, I reference a lot of other webinars. Those of you that, we have a lot of people on today's webinar. Those of you that have been here since the beginning, you've seen me build out workflows, and we've put what's called human in the loop kind of steps. So when you're teaching an AI agent, hey, when you get an email, open the email, download the attachment. If you read it and it says it's an Accord 25 insurance form, do this analysis, compare it with the contract. And then before you reply that you've approved it and filed it away, we want a human in the loop. So it emails Sarah, it emails Zach, it emails Tammy, and they basically get a summary on what it analyzed, and they get the two documents, and that's a human in the loop. She replies good, approved, anything positive, and it knows that it can kind of proceed. And we can get, again, if you guys want me to go deeper into those kind of flows, feel free to throw it in the chat or the QA for the next webinar. So here we go for, contract review. So this is going to give you some prompting examples. And this webinar, along with all these prompting examples and this slide deck, will be posted in the AI Blueprints school group if you guys aren't a part of it yet. So I want you guys just to be able to get this stuff afterwards because I'm going to blast through it here, and then I'm going to change my screen share to be over on ChatGPT to show you these things. But I'm going to put in the link here. We actually just crossed our free member threshold. So we have over 50 people in here now. But in the chat, I haven't switched it to be paid yet. So there's already the 50 free spots are taken, but it's not going to charge you guys. You get in free for life after today. This webinar, I'm going to change it. So members 51 through 100 will be $10 a month to join this. But all the webinars, all my courses are in there on AI for construction. So here is one of the prompts. Demonstrate how AI can efficiently review contracts by asking specific queries such as identifying key clauses or summarizing terms related to delays and compliance. This highlights the speed and accuracy of AI navigating through complex legal documents. And again, we're going to be doing this in connector and agent mode, not just uploading a PDF and then asking a question like, your coworkers might be doing and like the general public thinks is only possible. We want referenceable answers to, the query that we're asking. Compliance tracking. So utilize AI for compliance tracking by connecting it to projects compliance logs. A live demo, that we'll do is going to show you the AI identifying missing documents for subcontractors, drafting reminder emails, and illustrating its proactive management capabilities. And then document search, which is what I'm most excited for. I think the biggest unlock that I've seen is people being able to use this for their emails and find, hey, are there any emails last week that I was supposed to reply to that I didn't? Or, where's that one attachment from that one project? I think I saw it about 6 months ago. It will be able to comb through all of that and find that stuff for you. It can also comb through your guys' Google Drive. So if that certificate of insurance was put in the wrong subfolder somewhere, and maybe it was put in for the drywall contractor instead of the concrete contractor, this will be able to go find that misplaced document and allow you to not have to pull your hair out trying to figure out who has it or when it was sent. So embracing AI, a transformative force for construction. This is going to be my last slide here, and I'm gonna switch over to the screen share. So the construction sector is on the brink of a significant transformation driven by artificial intelligence. Integration of connectors, deep research capabilities, and agent mode not only enhances the workflow efficiency, but also empowers professionals to concentrate on strategic decision making and innovative problem solving rather than the mundane administrative tasks. The future holds the promise of greater productivity and streamlined operations, enabling teams to achieve more with less effort. And that's all we're trying to do over at contractsconnected.com too. It's mundane work that we're automating. We're not trying to take any critical stuff because we know, it's very important, the work that you guys do. So let me come out of here really quickly and let me share ChatGPT. So I'm going to use ChatGPT for this, but again, you guys can use anything that you would like to. Any AI has this capability at the moment, but I'm going to basically show you guys in ChatGPT. I just think that's the most common one here. So the first thing that I'll do is when I click on my little settings icon, you're going to have to come in here to leverage connectors. AI agents and deep research, they don't require this stuff. But here you're going to see connectors, and this is going to be how you unlock true real-time data across your AI. And this is going to be kind of that expert mode. So in here, you're going to see, you have your Outlook calendar, Outlook email, SharePoint, Teams, whatever you want. I've connected my Gmail, my Google Calendar, and my Google Drive. I can add deep research in here. I'll do that later, but I'm going to use deep research actually on my Gmail. So to leverage this, you're going to have to hit this plus button prior to. So here is going to be where you're going to unlock either agent mode, deep research, or connectors. And you can also use a couple of new things here like study and learn, web search, and Canvas. And if we have time, I'll get into those as well. The first, each one of these first off is not going to be instant the way that we're used to for ChatGPT, but in return for giving it more time to work and analyze, it's going to be able to give you guys better results. So I'll probably spin up a couple of these at the same time. The first one that I'm going to show you guys is agent mode. So keep in mind that deep research and agent mode are going to be very different. Agent mode is going to spin up an actual desktop. It's going to spin up a computer, and then it's going to control that computer to go execute a task. So agents are supposed to do things on your behalf. They're supposed to, go update things, go book things, go research things, go click on things, go, scrape things off the internet. What's the what are like new projects that have come out on SBA or something like that. You can have it go search across the internet and then take action. So you say, go research this, scrape this information off the internet, and then go paste it into this Google Sheet that I've given you. It can do actions like that. So I have a couple of examples over here. If anybody wants me to throw anything, any of their ideas that's here on the webinar, feel free to throw it in here. But in terms of, this AI agent, and I can just tell it something like, Patrick, yes, I can show that. And then I'm actually going to show that to you. And Pat, just so everybody knows, Patrick asked me to show a COI verification automation. I'm going to show that while this is thinking. So I'm just going to do a quick question. No, it does not require GPT-5, although GPT-5 is um, the default kind of like brain at the moment for OpenAI. So with agent mode, you can unlock connectors or sources. So whether you're having it update a spreadsheet, whether you're having it put this together in an email. So I can say this. Um, so it'll be able to like come in here and make make actions here. So I'm gonna start this. Um, it's gonna basically start thinking, and we're gonna see it spin up a desktop here in just a second. And I just want you guys to see the desktop before I change it. So the main thing that we're going to see here that's different is sources. Sources prevent hallucinations. So here you can see all the different sources that it's found across the internet. That is basically why um, it's giving you this answer. So you can come in here and you can come find the sources. You can even click on the actual page that it researched to go see exactly how it got to this end results here. So here you go. It's setting up its desktop. And you're basically creating like a robot at the moment that's going to go control a virtual computer. And this is, I gave it one sentence and I'm building out a robot, that's doing this from a virtual computer. So you can see this is going to kind of do things step by step here. It's thinking as it's doing it, waiting for the web page to load. While it's doing that, I'm going to show you guys another version, which is deep research mode. Again, you have sources here, so you can unlock your Gmail. You can unlock Google Calendar, whatever it is. So I'm going to actually turn off. Well, deep research mode probably I'm going to have this one here. And this will kind of go to Patrick's question. So if I put this in and I have the sources marked as web, this is going to take a little bit, but you're going to see it's going to ask some follow-up questions. It will always ask these in deep research mode because it's going to use a lot of computing power. So I'm just going to say this is for, construction. Are you using any existing? Most people are using email and Excel. But if you're using contracts connected, you wouldn't have to use either of those. Um, I want to know how AI can improve it. Um, so here you're going to see it's going to spin up a progress bar. So here you're not going to see the desktop, but it's scanning a ton of different web pages all at the same time. So this is, again, just deep research mode. So coming here next, I'm going to do another one. And these take a little bit longer to think. So I'm going to do a couple and we're going to come back to see what we asked them and what we didn't. So now I'm going to use a connector. So these are the three things that we talked about today: agentic, deep research, and connectors. So here I'm going to load in Gmail. Okay, should be good. Oh, it's searched automatically. Okay, great. Um, I want to find an email attachment from Chloe about how to analyze cert or like weekly certified payroll. I've been looking but can't seem to find the email thread. So here, maybe you're searching for a project attachment that was sent to you 6 months ago. We've all been there where we're looking for attachments for days and days, and it's just like pull your hair out. So this was actually able to come in here and find um, my email thread between me and Chloe about how she was training me on analyzing weekly certified payrolls for my AI kind of training tool that we're using. So, you can click open link here, and it will take me straight to this email thread with that attachment that I was referencing. Oops, let's see. It opened my other Gmail, so let me do this. I'll just open it over here. Perfect. So here is my email from Chloe. And essentially it has that attachment in here, and I can also ask for it. I can also ask for it to find anything else. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing this with you guys. Like as far as information and so on. So, it brought me to this thread. Great, awesome. You can also ask it to find any information from any of the documents within that as well. It's not able to read, what's inside my PDF, but it is able to kind of like understand the context in which it can work. So let's come back to it's still researching. So it's giving you all the sources that it's looking through. While it's doing that, I wanted to show you guys another kind of option here. So we've used agent mode, we've used deep research mode, we've used connectors, and then you have, study and learn. So if you want to kind of like dive deep on, certain flow down clauses or, specific terms, or if you wanted to upload, what you guys typically redline out of contracts, you can put it in here. And AI is right now creating brains around users where it's basically coming in and it's creating a profile to you that you've asked this in the past, that you care about a specific topic. And that you want to analyze this the same every single way. So study is a easy one to use, but I wanted to get to Patrick's question, and I wanted to show you guys how AI is currently analyzing certificates of insurance. So I have a demo here of the AI flow that I've built out. And Patrick, I can create a whole webinar on this as well. And we can basically just do a whole webinar just on how AI is analyzing certificates of insurance here. So let me pull this up, and then let's pull this up too while I'm pulling that up. So it's still working. Now here's going to be, and I hope that the audio is going to share here. There might not be audio actually. So here I've basically just dropped in a certificate of insurance here. This system already knows what the subcontract is requiring. So here it has the subcontract for that specific contractor, and it's analyzing, it's ripping apart the Accord 25, and it's basically making sure that all the policies are not only not expired, but that they match. And then it's also spending quite a bit of time in the endorsement section. So it can give you an instant final recommendation. Basically, it'll give you its confidence rating and it'll tell you what you need to review as a result. So you have a bunch of expired documents here, but in terms of the endorsements, it's just missing one of the four endorsements that your subcontract is requiring. So this is a very pretty way to look at this. You can also then chat with that document and ask the AI, like, you know, what specifically about this endorsement needs to change so I can reject it and send that message along to the sub. But this is a very pretty way to look at it. On the back end here, I have an agentic workflow happening, and this is just pushing it into a really pretty place here. The agentic workflow, you're basically just prompting. The prompt is basically extract the information, analyze the information, and spit out that answer. And this is an agentic workflow prompt. So workflow is meaning it's not automatic. So this has to get a document dropped into it to generate the response. But the agentic side is it being able to go reference the subcontract into Davis, or sorry, the subcontract requirements and then the COI that's analyzed and go back and forth and compute to spit out this answer here. So again, these do take a little bit of time sometimes, so I'm gonna continue to let these load. Is there any other questions that you guys have, or examples of can it do this? Can it scrape this? When you guys see what this is going to spit out, it's going to be pretty impressive, and it's basically going to be zero hallucination here. So I'd love for you guys to stick around for that. Um, Additionally, the link that I put in there, this webinar, I post in there about AI news, AI updates. Today's we're basically over the free account amount, so if you guys are getting it today, you're kind of like sliding in there, even when it should be on paid accounts by now. So definitely take advantage of that. This connector is probably going to be the best way for you guys to leverage data literally right now. So um, you can have it come in here and you can have it use any of your guys' sources. I turn off things, turn on things. Our sales guy uses this in our HubSpot. This is our CRM for contracts connected and who's been clicking on what. We run a report with this every single morning that he used to have to run by hand, but this can also be a compliance report. You can have it go into your Google Drive. You can have it go into your Dropbox. You can have it go into your SharePoint and compile a analysis on which documents you have for which vendors. What was added yesterday? What's different? What are we still missing? You can have all of those things kind of filed out and figured out here. Okay, just in time. So here you can see that the research was completed in 7 minutes. It looked through 10 sources and it did 18 different Google searches. If you click on this, it's going to kind of walk you through its thought process here, which is very unique and kind of like a new thing in terms of like step by step, how did you get to these answers? And when you guys are dealing with really important project documents, whether it's searching through your documentation, whether it's searching through your emails, or whether it's just searching across the internet, knowing where it's getting this information is going to prevent you from like copy and pasting something that ChatGPT threw at you and someone's like, what the heck? Like, you didn't even take any time to like make sure that was relevant. Here, you're getting the sources again. So if you need to verify a specific number, whether it's taking you to a website or whether it's taking you into your SharePoint or your Google Drive, or your email inbox for that matter, it's going to be able to show you exactly where it found it. And if we scroll down here, we're going to see it's pretty robust. AI strategies for managing certificates of insurance in construction. So the collection piece, then you have the assisted COI review and verification, like I just showed you a screen share of Contracts Connected doing. Intelligent data extraction, automated compliance checking, highlighting excerpts for human review. So mine that I built on Contracts Connected did all three of those things, right? But this is just kind of telling you a little bit more details in it. Proactive COI tracking and renewal management with AI. So obviously, if it can extract out endorsements and analyze those, it's going to be able to extract out expiration dates, analyze those, and then the agent, without anybody ever telling it to, can go email or call that sub and get that new updated COI. And then, yeah, it's again always going to caution you best practices here. You want to be careful. And then you want to make sure that you can trust it. And then it's also going to reference its sources. So again, this is an internet search, but if it's a document search or an email search, it's always going to reference its sources here. So this is going to be probably the biggest unlock if you guys are GPT users. Agent mode can go. I've seen this thing book travel for people. I've seen this thing, book like reserve rentals, car rentals. I can have it go say, hey, I need to fly to Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska next week. Can you compile all the flight options and hotel options with the best price? And I need it to be close to this address. It can go do all of that research. It can go find that stuff. It can then compile that and give you the links to book whatever you need. I'm going to this conference. I need a flight on this day, preferably after this time. I want the most cost-effective direct flight, but I also need a rental car and I need a hotel that's near the conference center or whatever it is. Agent mode can go do these things for you. Deep research. This is going to be deep research either through your emails, deep research through the internet, like we saw here, deep research through your files. And after the deep research is done, compile a report, compile a spreadsheet, compile an email, whatever you guys need, it can compile that. Creating an image, I mean, it is what it is. You guys can play around with that. It's pretty easy. And connectors are sources. You can connect whatever you want. The more data you give it, the better answers you're going to get. Construction is hyper focused around real-time data, and I highly recommend that you guys leverage these. There is, somewhat of a warning here around what you guys can connect and what you should connect in here. It does give you guys a little bit of a, disclaimer. But if you guys are going to use AI for connecting any of this stuff, like I've mentioned in the past, in your settings, you can actually change this to basically say, your data controls, improve the model for everybody off. So make sure that that's off if you're going to connect a lot of your stuff in here. You don't want your emails training the AI model because truly, you might think that these companies have control over what the AI references and what it doesn't. They are just now for the first time understanding why it hallucinates. They feed it a lot of data and it's spitting things out, but there's not a full deep understanding, even by the people building it, why it's doing everything that it's doing yet. And as they kind of unleash more and more information into it, they may or may not get a hold on, why it does or doesn't do what it does. So keeping this off is important. And then when you kind of connect your stuff in, you can feel a lot more secure here. There is, just so you guys know too, for those of you in the federal sector, if you want to go, where can I upgrade so I can show you guys here. So in the business, you can basically be feeling a little bit more secure, $25 a month, an extra $5. This is not sponsored, but an extra $5. You basically do not train the model by default. You can record your meetings and you can kind of feel safe with the SOC 2 Type 2, which is a industry standard encryption. So your data is always, always protected. So it's a $5 increase. If you or your team aren't already on this, you can take a look at it if you're dealing with, again, more sensitive type of projects. So I have about 5 minutes here left. I can answer any questions. If there's anybody that wants to put in webinar ideas for next week, I want to research what you guys, the construction industry, want to know about with AI. I'm just an AI nerd building an AI software for construction with my co-founder that is an actual construction guy. He owned a GC for 15 years. So I'm kind of the nerd behind the construction person to build out this back office AI automation platform. But I want to know what you guys want. I lean on this AI blueprint. Again, the link is in the chat. A lot for topics, ideas, feedback. And you have a direct link to me in there to chat. You also will get access to our Thursday morning office hours. So I just sit Thursday mornings for for a half hour. Anybody from the AI group that's part of it can join it, and they ask me any questions. They show me any, you know, I hate having to go to this website every morning and enter this into an Excel sheet. Can I automate this? And I say, yes, let's do it right here, right now, and let's try to figure that out for you. So those Thursday morning meetings, I enjoy them. I enjoy talking to you guys. This is more me talking at you. The Thursday meetings are me talking with you, and I really value that. So if there isn't any question, I'm still going to hang around until the top of the hour here. But I would love to see you guys back next week, and I will be announcing kind of what that topic is on Thursday of this week. So keep an eye on your inbox. Hope to see you in the AI Blueprint community. And other than that, feel free to ping me if you guys have any questions. I hope that today you walked away seeing like some really powerful unlocks as far as AI tools go in your day-to-day work and giving it access to your data right now to give you better answers. Um, did you show in a previous meeting the way to have AI search work? Christine, can you define what you mean by work, search work? Like, is that jobs that are, I guess, a little clarity around, if you wanted to search for specific jobs. Okay. Jobs predict things that are going to happen so we can jump on it first. Okay, cool. Yeah. So those are two different things. Jobs, yes, it can scrape. Um, you can have it set to scrape. And I don't know, Christine, if you're a federal contractor or a private commercial multifamily, but in terms of, federal, they're publicly posted. You can create an AI agent that just scans, searches, and finds things that meet your criteria of the type of projects you want to find, and give you a report every single morning so nothing slips through the cracks. It's definitely possible, and I can definitely show that in a future webinar. Or if you want to jump on this Thursday's meeting, I can actually get into how to scrape things off the internet from that. Predicting things that are going to happen so we can jump on it first. That's one of the things that we're doing at Contracts Connected. Um, if we see that documents are missing, we're not going to allow a vendor on site. If we see that something's expiring in the future, AI can proactively see that that COI is going to expire and go collect that. Um, again, I think that I may need a little bit more clarity, I guess. But in terms of can it predict things, it can't predict the future, but if you have clear signs, and this has to be a sign on a computer, which is why I'm specifically building AI for the back office because everything's done on a computer for the back office. Project managers need to be able to like see things, I guess, a little bit better. Um, the scraping information. I'm in Las Vegas and sometimes trends popped up and I can see them too late. It would be great to have a search trends. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Christine, it can definitely do that. It's the same as scraping. You just call it scraping. So if you're programming anything to go on the internet, basically gather information off website pages, compile that information, and then report it back to you. It's the same as if you're looking for, federal work to be awarded, or if you're looking for trends. So you just have to tell it where to look, and you can have it look every morning at 8 a.m., where you would normally find that stuff. And it can find that for you. You can even do Google searches every morning at 8 a.m. You can just say every morning at 8 a.m., do this Google search, do this research, compile an email, and email it back to me, however you'd like that to happen. So that is all that I have for you guys today. It is the end of the hour. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope to see you guys in that AI community in the chat that I put it here. It's been fun to put together so far. Thank you guys for coming to this webinar. We had our biggest turnout ever today. And again, if you guys have any ideas for future webinars, I'm building this for you guys, not for me. So I'm excited to continue on, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.